Well, somebody else who's in Switzerland braving the cold weather is our very own Frances Hurd. Let's catch up with her now and see what's happening there. Frances, a very good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Tell us what the mood is like, if not the weather.
Well, I can tell you this makes a change from heat waves. We're at -6 at the moment. Yesterday, temperatures in Davos reaching close to -20, if you can believe. But it started snowing apparently about a week or two ago, just in time for these delegates to the World Economic Forum. And it's beautiful. It's a winter wonderland behind me. Peter, I can tell you the mood is busy. There's just so much going on. A lot of people are registering. The bulk of the delegates, in fact, fly in tomorrow, but a lot of registrations happening today, a lot of security personnel milling around, and it's quite difficult to get in and out, specifically before you haven't been registered. There are barriers. There's basically a security net around this whole area, around the Congress Center, where most of the activity will be held. And a lot of people milling around, but it'll get even busier tomorrow. Tonight, Klaus Schwab, the founder of this very unique event, an economist, a German economist, he's been attending and leading this event for years. He will do the opening address, and then basically it starts in earnest tomorrow.
All right, so the big theme is technology, and I guess some of the delegates that are making waves are not even human.
Yeah, so we saw the robot, Hugo. That's quite interesting. He doesn't really have a head or a face, but he can move around. And if you're stuck after an earthquake, say, he can come and lift the rubble and help you. And some of the reporters here are focusing on the fact that there's this saying, it's called the Davos man, this very elite person who jets into Davos, one of the 1% in the world. But now we're talking about the Davos robot. And that's a primary focus, what robots can do. And of course, the theme is the fourth industrial revolution. So the third was the introduction of computers, of incredible technology. Now what we're looking at, what's expected to come, is innovation and change at an unprecedented level and pace. So the fourth industrial revolution is a catch-all for things like robotics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, genome advances, a whole lot of advances. For the emerging world, for emerging markets like South Africa, however, this seems a little bit pie in the sky, I must be honest. And I think a lot of the focus won't be on these future developments, but in fact on the economic woes of the world right now, and specifically of emerging markets.
All right, talking about emerging markets, my last question, just before you go, the cost of things. I mean, our rand took a dive, 30% in the last year. How much is it costing to buy a drink?
Well, the last thing I bought was a pizza. So that cost close to 500 Rand, wow. A pretty standard, stock standard pizza. And yeah, the Rand is down 30% since the last meeting of the World Economic Forum. This meeting expected to be more expensive anyway. So you're looking at a cost of 50% more for the South African delegation. And there's quite a big government delegation. They have justified that, saying that it's important. And I do agree with this. Now more than ever, we have to reassure investors, we have to reassure the world that's worried about emerging markets like our own, seeing them as riskier, pulling out. We have to be here, a strong presence to say that we're on a steady course in South Africa, and maybe try and woo some of those investors. But I would say for a three-man delegation, you're looking at a cost of over $1 million, and that's not even including rather the fees that the big companies pay from around the world to be here.
Frances, that's where we're going to have to leave it, but thank you very much indeed for our first connection with you on Prime, but we'll get more from you during the course of the week. Stay warm. Thanks, Frances.